Hey again everybody, Jim Hickey, also known as Bass Fishing Tips on Twitter. Back to you with another quick video about, well, Mr. Twister baits, but more importantly this time around, it's using Mr. Twister baits in conjunction with JBs Fish Sauce. Now, I did a video earlier on one of the ways you could use JB's Fish Sauce on hard baits in order to, one, put some scent on it definitely, but also use that as kind of a lubricant. Okay, and you can go check that out if you want, so that when you get like a long jerk bait, and during the winter when fish are real finicky, if they kind of take it sideways but don't really get the hooks, that when you go to set the hook, that the fact that the scent is there acts as a lube and helps slide the bait down so the hooks actually get into the fish. Well, in this case, and I did well. Let me back up for a second. In that case, I did it because we still had ice on the water, and I wasn't going out trying ice fishing. Since that time, we've had ice out, and I finally started to actually do some fishing. And first couple of trips out were exploring a new area for me, a river system that I intend to spend a lot of time on this year, where I'd heard there are some very nice bass, smallies, and I'd always heard there were smallies there. I just didn't think they were that big until last year. I got documentation that there were a lot of 15-inch, quite a few 17 to 18 inch, and some 20 plus inch fish in this river. So I'm really anxious to check it out. But anyway, there's one spot where I could get to it from shore since the launch was still iced in at that point. And I spent a couple of days there fishing, trying to probe out what holes were around. And each day I started out with a Ned rig or a tube rig, and they were both soaked in JB's fish sauce, kind of slathered up on using the sticks that I have. And didn't catch any fish, I'll admit it. There's one time where I brought it up over a bar and something hit. Don't know what it was, but it got off right away, so that's as good as it gets. But then I also talked to a couple of guys who were out kayaking on a very warm day, and they said they didn't see hide nor hair of a fin anywhere. And usually it's not that hard to see the fish. It's a very clear river. So the smallies might not even be back in the river yet. But what I was doing is probing, like I said, those holes from where I was fishing from shore. And one day, the last time I was out, I was fishing a Ned rig for about half hour, 45 minutes. And it had been well slathered, if you will, with JB's fish sauce, the crawfish formula. And after doing that, I said, well, let's try do a switch up, go to a tube and see what happens. So I got that all ready. When I cut the Ned rig off, I actually had this hoodie on, and I just took the little hitch hook and kind of just tried to wrap it around the knot to hold it there while I was tying the other one on. Well, you can see I actually caught the thing and hooked it rather well. But as it's just sitting there, all of a sudden I saw, oh, Jesus, that thing still got crawfish scent on it. So I was using this thing for over half an hour and still had plenty of scent on it. I was very amazed. So impression number one. Finally, about a week and a half ago, a week ago last Friday, had a very warm day, went out and checked out a place that was a very shallow cove, but very dark bottom, very weedy, solid bottom, but still very dark because of the weeds. So I figured it would have warmed up, and it had to the lower 50s. So I went out and started to probe that with a Texas rigged Cometa. Again, lathered up with JB's fish sauce. In this case, it was the bait fish scent. And after fishing for about 15 minutes, I didn't have anything. And then I finally made a cast out, found a weed bed that was just at the edge of my casting range, and connected with largemouth number one for the year, a nice little 15-incher, on that bait that was all lathered up with the JB's fish sauce, the Cometa. So that was very encouraging. And then on the very next cast, I found another weed bed, and it's just that I pulled it off that weed bed, both submerged weed beds, hit right away. Instant, kind of ran away from me, had the reverse head shake and popped instantaneously. And I got it back, and there's a little fraying in the line. And some big pickerel in this place that I've caught there in the past, so I assume that was a pickerel. But there's, within minutes, a couple of fish, one caught, one on. I had another pickerel on for a little bit, a smaller pickerel, and then it started to rain, so I got out of there. So does JB's fish sauce work? Absolutely does. Will I be using it this season? Absolutely. I love the fact that it comes in different ways that I can apply it. So you want to check it out, JB's Fish Sauce. I'll put the link at the bottom of this post. And following this video will be a picture of that first 15-inch largie that I caught using that Mr. Twister Cometa lathered with, JB's Fish Sauce. Anyways, tight lines and full live wells. We'll be talking again real soon. Have a great day.